Hi, my name is Todd, and today I'm going to show you how to use Admin, which is the online console for the management of inspections on the CheckCam service. So this is what the head office user or the admin user sees in order to create checklists, create inspections, add inspectors, and to manage all of the incoming reports as well. There is a very quick and easy way to send checklists out to the apps of your inspectors in the field. First of all, you need to have some inspectors on the system. So go into New to add an inspector. And it's exactly as the field suggests. You put in their first, last name, email address, contact number, etc. You then need to determine what status they've got. In most cases, it would be an inspector in the field, but you can also add another admin user to have access to this back-end console, or you can add a guest user who might be a colleague who isn't actually an inspector but wants to use the service from time to time. They have restricted use of the service. Once you've added the user, you can then create a checklist. So I'll go into a new checklist, give it a name in this top box here, and then a subheading. So if, for example, you are going to be inspecting a property, the subheadings might be external, internal, garage. You maybe have 4 or 5 subheadings, and within each subheading you have a number of items. So again, typically if it's a property that's being inspected, the items would be hallway, living room, kitchen, conservatory. A brief description here which tells the inspector exactly what you mean by living room, kitchen, hallway, etc. And then they will have 4 options when they're going through the checklist. They can click OK. If everything is fine, it's just a very quick way to move on to the next item. They can click Add to Video. If they find an issue in the living room, they click Add to Video and they can then make a short video of whatever the issue is that they've found. If you want to compel them to make a video of this item, you just click here whilst you're creating the checklist. You click here and that will come through in their checklist telling them that they must create a video of that item. And so on. So you just create the checklist, adding items, adding new subheadings, until you're finished when you click on Save. Once that has been done, you can simply click on Send to All. And that means that this checklist will go to everybody on your network. So there's another way of managing this, which is to go into Checklists, All, and you can see here that some are active and others are not, and you can toggle between the two. So the checklists, when they go out to your inspectors, are either with all of your inspectors or with none of them. There is a separate video showing how the app works if you want to see how it appears within the app. Now, you might want to do a more specific inspection of a particular asset. So particularly if you've got a high value asset, you can add it here, put the asset name in, assign it to a group because you can create asset groups as well, and you may want to give it a location, although that's not mandatory. After an asset has been added, you will then create a checklist for that particular asset. So a checklist can be unique to an asset or it can be shared by a group of assets. And then you set about creating a new inspection for that asset. So you select the asset, you give it a name, go through to the next stage, which is where the date range and time range is set. Here you can determine the time at which, or the times between which, this inspection has to take place. You select the user, the person who is going to be carrying out the inspection, and the checklist, which is probably going to have the same name as the asset. Then you simply submit it. So that is a specific scheduled inspection sent to an individual inspector in order to carry out an inspection of a particular asset within a set date range. Let's have a look at all of the other controls in admin. We've covered the assets. If an asset is deleted, it stays within the system just for reference purposes. So you can look at old assets. So it may be something that you no longer own, but you just want to have a record of the inspections that you carried out when you did own it. We've been through the checklists and the new inspections, the schedules and completed reports. These show you all of the scheduled inspections that are out there at the moment, and it also shows you the reports. So for example, this report here you can view, and you can search the reports and the schedules to have a look at incoming reports and existing schedules which have been created. Down here we've got an actions box. This tells you of any inspections that should have taken place and didn't. So you even know when an inspection did not happen. Or outstanding actions. You'll remember that one of the toggles within the checklist, the inspector can tell you that action needs to be taken, and this shows you in this list here any actions that have been notified by the inspector which you haven't yet resolved. So you can go in, view it, resolve it. Just make sure that you keep on top of everything and nothing slips through the net. Finally, the head office box, the rebranding. This is where you change the logo which is going to appear on your reports, so they're all customized. Report page template, so you can choose a template or you can send one to us, and that's for the layout of the report page. The incident reports, this is an interesting one. One of the options that the app users have is to send an incident report, which is not an inspection, therefore it does not have a checklist. If anybody in the field encounters the unexpected, they may need to let you know about it. So what they do is to click on the incident report button, and that will send you a report with a video, location map, sender details, but no checklist. So this is really for the spontaneous use to send details of anything that's happened in the field that you need to know about. Those reports come in here. And then the account, so you can have a look at your billing, etc. And that's done through me as well. So there you have it. That is the admin console and the dashboard for CheckCam management of inspections and incident reports.